The time is upon us once again to bring you the best comics of this week. Me and Morgan, just by ourselves this week, will bring you quick and short and right in your face, visceral comic books. That's right, comic books. Very bright and shiny comic books, actually. Why don't you start with that very, very bright comic book?
Yeah, it's a little standoffish of
It
a
is,
cover,
actually.
you know. I feel kind of confronted here. But this is Standoff, Assault on Pleasant Hill, Alpha #1. I'm not quite sure why they needed so many subtitles for this book.
That is a lot of subtitles, actually.
But this is the, I would say, the kickoff chapter of Marvel's current crossover, but that was like last week, so I'm not sure what this makes this exactly. It's like, you know, when they do a trailer for a trailer. Yeah. How does that even work? But this is Nick Spencer, I believe.
Is he doing it again?
Yeah, this is like his baby, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Nick Spencer along with Jesus Saiz, who is doing his own colors here, just like he did on the first few issues of that Green Lantern Lost Army series. It looks absolutely beautiful. Like, it's almost reminiscent of like Daniel Acuña's stuff.
That was kind of
except a bit more like solid, if you know what I mean. It's more like rounded off. It's less painterly.
Yeah.
It's really cool here. This is seeing Captain America sort of uncover the Pleasant Hill town, which has been revealed in the last one-shot as being more of a prison for supervillains who've been like converted into nice good Samaritans via cosmic cubes by S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's not gonna last.
Yeah, no, Steve's not gonna last.
That's so not gonna last.
Yeah, it doesn't even last like halfway into this book. But I think it's a really interesting setup, personally, for this story, and we'll see it play out over a variety of series, from Uncanny Avengers through, I think All New, All Different is doing something with it as well.
Probably.
Thunderbolts is spinning out of it.
Yeah, Thunderbolts is kind of coming back.
Yeah.
Kind of bringing it back. I was huge into that when I was a kid. When
That
that
was really
first came
solid
out,
stuff.
that was actually really cool. And who can say no to Baron Zemo? I mean,
Right.
Doctor Doom and then Baron Zemo. Like,
Somehow,
Yeah,
the
kinda
purple
right there.
sock doesn't quite do as much as the metal mask
No.
does, but it's still pretty rad.
and he's a Nazi, and automatically.
No, his dad was a Nazi.
Well, I'm talking about the.
His
Well,
dad
okay,
was a Nazi.
all right.
Come on.
No, he was a Nazi.
You can't hold that against him. No, he just has very high standards.
Alright, regardless. Deadly Class. I haven't talked about this in a little bit. Rick Remender, Wes Craig, and new colorist Jordan Boyd taking over for Lee Lutheridge, who's now doing like 8 other comics, and I guess didn't have time for this one. But this is part 3 of, no, not anymore, of Die For Me, and if there's anything you know about Rick Remender's characters in his comics, they die. Horribly. Many times over. In fact, he'd bring them back and kill them again if he could, just cause. Just mean.
All for you.
Mean. Still really good, though. This is halfway, I think this is a 5-issue arc, so this is going to kind of be the lead up to the, oh my god, I need the next issue. Very fun, very, very cool, though. I'm excited to see more of the arc and see where it goes.
And I have got another Image book here, this time in #1, from one of my favorite writers, Pete Milligan, teaming up with Leandro Fernandez, who he did The Names with recently from Vertigo. This is the first issue of The Discipline, which has been described as a surreal sexual thriller. It reminds me a lot, actually, of that one scene in Rosemary's Baby where she's hallucinating about the boat and then the devil comes and, like, does his thing. That's pretty much this whole issue.
Okay, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Sees this woman who is married to a, like, multi-millionaire, like, big earner who doesn't really love her. They have a very strained relationship, and she meets this strange European man while looking at one of Goya's paintings of course, some sort of devil dude, like, you know, getting it on. And that draws her into this whole web of, like, secret societies and these weird mutant, like, reptile people and some straight-up demons.
It sounds like Peter Milligan.
Yeah, it's very Milligan. There's a lot of, like, really surreal imagery going on here. It's really beautiful work, actually.
Yeah, the art on that's really good.
Yeah, Fernandez is channeling some serious Eduardo Rizzo here.
Yeah, very nice. Good kind of departure from his normal style. It's definitely really good.
And especially with Chris Peter, the Casanova colorist on it.
Actually, I haven't seen him do anything other than Casanova.
I feel like I've seen his name on like one or two other things.
From Dark Horse this week, Predator, Life and Death. This is the beginning of the new cycle of stories that they're doing with Prometheus, Predator, and Aliens. This issue is written by Dan Abnett, featuring art by Brian Teese, local artist who we are very, very happy that he finally got straight up his own book that he gets to pencil and ink, and it looks very, very gorgeous. You know, it's Predator and Aliens together, so you've got poor, poor, sad Space Marines who sadly probably won't live through issue 2 against a Predator in the jungle. And there's no Schwarzenegger or Carl Weathers.
Well, there's a lot of mud around,
There's
though,
a
so
lot
they
of
can
mud.
recreate that scene.
You know, they could, but my money's on the Predator, for sure. But yeah, some really great ink work, brush work, and stuff in here. And yeah, the last series of stories were very, very well received. So yeah, they're starting. This is part 1 of 17, and but this time they're gonna roll it out over a year rather than say 3 months.
Yeah, like 4 miniseries all going at once.
Yeah. So and there was that whole thing like, what do I read and I don't know and blah blah blah. Nobody knew. Yeah. So.
And I've got another #1 here. This one from Marvel, reuniting the Dream Team from Daredevil, Chris Samnee and Mark Waid. Black Widow #1. I feel like people have really been waiting for this since like the end of both the last volume of Daredevil and Black Widow's last series, which was pretty well received.
Yeah.
You know, sort of making up for the fact that Black Widow still doesn't have her own movie. I always had to play second fiddle to Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and all of them. This sees Chris Samnee actually taking over the main reins for writing at least this issue, because it is an almost silent, like, 20-page chase scene. It's so badass.
Yeah.
Natasha Romanoff is just kicking tons of S.H.I.E.L.D. ass. She's on the run from Maria Hill. She stole something, and it ends with, like, a knife versus rock fight, so we can basically get, like, the ultimate game of rock, paper, scissors here. And you know rock always beats scissors.
Well, mostly.
Yeah. What do you mean most of the time?
Most of the time.
What rock, paper, scissors are you playing?
I don't know. Prophet. Earth War. More books from Image. Jeez, we're talking about a lot of Image this week, but that's okay.
It happens.
This issue sees art from Ron Atkins, who did a backup in Prophet many moons ago called Detective Lancaster Blue that was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for him to do more stuff. This sees one of my favorite Prophets, which is like the white-haired, four-armed, total Rob Liefeld guy. Even more Rob Liefeld than the regular Prophet. Because he has 4 arms.
Right, and one of them's a robot arm now, which, like, ups the Liefeld by at least 20%.
At least. So, yeah. And then this cover by Yanni. Holy crap, I might have to buy 2 and put one on my wall.
And our final book here, another...
Arguably the largest book of the week.
Yeah, really. At least in quantity of covers, that's for sure.
Dude, in quantity of selling. This book has been outselling Batman. What you say about that, DC?
Whew. Here we go. The first, well, kind of first issue of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. A franchise near and dear to my heart. And probably mine. Casey's as well.
Oh, yeah.
Man, what do I need to say about Power Rangers? It's Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger. It's all the other Rangers from the original series.
You don't remember any of the other guys' names.
Well, no, there's Kimberly and Zach and Billy and... Trini? With Trina? Something like that. I don't know. I don't know the rest of them.
That was pretty good.
No one knows the Red Ranger's name. He was just a meathead.
Right, yeah.
But they're all back. So are Bulk and Skull. Arguably the best characters of the entire franchise. And they are kicking all kinds of monster ass here.
And Rita Repulsa.
Oh yeah, Rita Repulsa, perfect. Yeah, and Scorpina, who is like one of the coolest looking villains, just because, you know, Power Rangers has the best designed villains because it's all Japanese.
Yeah.
And there's also a backup here by, I forget his name, but the guy that drew that, Bat Knight series recently. Tor and Howl.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Which of course focuses on Bulk and Skull, because they're the best. And we do have like 500 variant covers for this, including the ultra-rare, sought-after Kevin Wada variant.
That's right. So come in and get it, because there are rabid Power Rangers fans that are ready to fight you for that cover.
It's true. Do you know how long they've been starving for, like, good content? So long.
Alright, guys. Sharpen your knuckles, and we'll see you tomorrow. Or today. See ya.